everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely Tarot. So good to see you guys here today. Today's reading is going to be for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for the dates of March 23rd until the 25th. Okay, I know I was supposed to start at 9, but I'm starting now, so I don't know, it's so quiet. And although I'm so exhausted, something told me to do it now. So I pull out a lot of cards for you guys. 4 is a lot, by the way. 4 cards for you guys, and I got beautiful energy. Okay, I'm using for you guys the Anime Tarot, the Luna L Tarot, and I might mix it with the Black Moon Astrology cards. Okay. All right. Don't forget, guys, if you resonate with the readings or if you just like the readings, like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want personal readings, go to jocelynlovely84@gmail.com. All that information is in the description box below. And if you want to donate, you can Cash App, PayPal, or you can donate on YouTube. All of that information is in the description box below. Okay? Click on more. Perfect. I will timestamp everything for you guys, so we should be good to go. All right. All right. We have the 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Wands here. Now, let me timestamp before I forget. Because you know I would forget, okay? I will forget. For you guys, we're going to start the reading at 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Timestamp, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So, and I will go really slow, guys, because I'm so tired and I keep getting like, my ancestors are really wanting me to slow down. Okay, this is good for me to do that. Okay, not only do I get to enjoy the reading with you guys if I slow down, but I also get to, go over some things with anybody that could be a beginner or they don't understand tarot that might be beneficial for you guys as well. So, all right, Gemini, I have the 6 of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. I feel like this is you. Gender does not matter. This is an energy, okay? Queen of Cups is a very loving, understanding, patient, giving person. This is a gem. This is a person who leads their life and lives through their heart, okay? Have you ever met those people that you just see them and they're just so lovable? Like, they're just so lovable. Like, they're people that just give, even if it's the last dollar that they have, they'll give it to you. If it's, they would literally inconvenience themselves to help others. It's that type of energy, humanitarian energy. Whoever this person is, this could be you or whoever, you're dealing with, or just a family member, somebody that you know. And yeah, it's this Queen of Cups energy. Is this person's been like that their whole lives. Again, some people are just born that way. There's people that just radiate nothing but love. They are just love, the essence of it. And even though, as these people get older, life will get in the way, and some people just turn more bitter or become bitter. But you're not, unfortunately, you could have been that way for a bit, but it almost seems like you just, whoever this is, this Queen of Cups is, they ended up becoming even more lovable through the heartbreaks. Heartbreaks can really break people down or tear them down. And this person, whoever this is, whether that's you or somebody, after the heartbreak and the anger and the animosity, this person still found somehow their way back to loving energy, to being a loving energy. And understanding the purpose of it, right? Christ consciousness teaches that, right? Through love, forgiveness, tolerance, empathy, right? And that's this person. This could be you. All right. Then you have the 6 of Pentacles here. Hey, welcome, Jocelyn. Okay, what was I saying? Sorry. Six of Pentacles here. This tells me you are very lucky because you have gifts coming in. Okay, I feel like somebody's giving you gifts, or you've received gifts. I mean, whoever this loving energy is, okay, you could be like an earth angel energy. It gives me that type of energy, like light worker. I'm not saying you don't have dark energy within you. I'm just saying this is the energy that you thrive in, because it's the energy you're most, it's who you are, right? Some people just have darker energy more than they do light energy, but I feel like you whoever this person is, they're just, they do better with that loving light energy. But this reminds me of six. When you think of the six, right, you think of balance, you think of karma, balance, giving, receiving, you think of harmony, you think of six. Also talks about, I get like a perfect balance, right? Like the justice scales. But then I also get with this, because it's Six of Pentacles, I'm getting gifts. This could also mean somebody's giving gifts to you, or if you're the one that's very, abundant, you can be very charitable yourself, but I'm getting you're receiving the gift. Okay? For some of you guys with this reading, I'm getting that you've been tapping into your heart more. And I know it's crazy to say because you're the Queen of Cups, so you've tapped into your heart even more, to the point where, like, with this Ace of Wands, this is an opening. Because you've done that, I feel like there's whatever level you're at, or where you're at, the environment you're in has never really been suitable to the amount of love that is within you. So maybe you grew up in an environment that was so toxic and deadly and dark, and it could have been demonic, it could have been just really lonely, or very like taking energy that takes from you. And so someone like you was really needed. You were needed in this environment, right? To have a little bit of a balance there, but it almost seems like you were always too big for your environment that you grew up in, or that you're in now. You've overgrown it. You're too big for it. You have too much love energy within you, too much light to live in an environment like this. This is dead lands. There's nothing here. There's nothing promising here. So it's like, as soon as you open up or tap into the heart, the divine automatically will, or the universe, if you want to call it the universe, automatically has to respond by giving you an environment that's more suitable to the type of love and frequency that you're in. So if you remember that saying that the higher in frequency that you go, from 5D and above, that's more openness, right? Therefore, more abundance. It could be that you unlocked a huge amount of abundance to the next stage, right? Going from 5D or even 6D, which is creating in reality. So it almost seems like you guys are going to receive more abundance and gifts because you are ready. You're ready for a better environment. So with the Ace of Wands here, this is new creative energy, but this reminds me of a gift. Maybe there's talents and abilities that you haven't tapped into because of the environment you're in, or your heart being closed to a certain extent. So now that it's being opened even more, remember, anyone that's a psychic or intuitive gets even more, right? More gifts. For some of you guys, it's not just gifts, it's memory. It's recollection of your past memories. That's a gift. It really is, because it's a testament to how far you've come. One, it's a testament to how ready you are to face the things in your past, right? Because when you think of ascended masters, right, or when you think of a person shifting into certain realities, part of that has to do with facing your past, confronting your past, or remembering things from your past, right? This is how you reach the Akashic records, whether that's in this lifetime or in the past lifetimes. But I feel like that's what's happening for some of you guys. Your gifts are, you're gonna realize that you're more gifted than you've ever been. So that's where the gifts is coming from. energy. And I'm also getting recollection of memories. Some of you guys are going to start having memories about your childhood and the gifts that you were able to tap into. Because remember, childlike wonder is the reason why children are like highly considered highly spiritual, because they're still it's like less ego technically, and then they're just closer to the other realms, right? The other portals. So they're still young, they're still fresh, and I feel like some of you guys are just remembering like the childlike wonder or the gifts that you've had even as children. So maybe you guys never really knew how gifted you were, and then you start having a memory of like your childhood gifts were with you since you were a kid, but maybe you just forgot about it. Okay? Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let's see what else. I have 4th house. This talks about a family. Cancer is also a very loving energy, because this is the planet, the influence of it, right? Cancer, or, you know. But 4th house talks about family lineage. Your family, mother, father, mostly mother. I'm getting gifts as well, like your generational lineage. I feel like whoever this is that you're a mystic. You have gifts. Whoever you are, you have gifts. And it almost feels like, and I'm going to say this in the best way possible, maybe you always overlooked your gifts to a certain extent. And I feel like something about, maybe your gifts are actually that great, but sometimes living in the realm of earthly realms, our mind, in order to protect us, can kind of like shut some truths down, right? Things that are just known to you, we tend to shut them down because it's easier. Sometimes we don't want to know that type of truth. Like I said, sometimes we don't want to access those type of memories in the Akashic records, right? But I'm getting that you're gonna realize that your gifts, if you've had like a feeling about something, or if you've known something, your intuition was telling you something and you didn't want to believe it, or you wanted to overlook it, and maybe you needed proof, but like people wouldn't give you proof, but it was a feeling that you had. It almost seems like this realization is going to become apparent that you were correct. So if you felt something, your gifts were telling you something, you were right. And maybe for whatever reason you chose not to believe yourself, your own intuitive energy, because it's Cancer energy. It gives me that beautiful intuitive energy. And I'm getting that somebody they overlooked the truth, or you overlooked your gifts, and that's okay. You're gonna be proven correct. Okay? Somebody's going to be proven correct here. And once you do, for others of you guys too, if you're getting memories from your childhood, you're going to realize something about your own family lineage. So maybe something wasn't very like apparent to you, and then it's going to make sense. Like everything's going to click, and you're going to start having more memories of like your childhood past, and how you're like something about your family. Okay, so if you thought you were the only one that possessed these gifts, you are incorrect. It almost seems like you're going to find out that your family, like your whole family lineage, ancestors, immediate family, also has the same gifts as you do, but maybe they don't use them in the same way that you do. Okay, whatever this reveal is, it's going to shock you, but it's going to make sense. It's almost as if God tried to tell you this before, your gifts tried to tell you this before, intuition, and you didn't listen. And that's okay. Maybe you weren't ready for the truth then. You're ready for it now. Okay? Oh, Tayo, love you. Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see what else. The Hermit didn't want to come out earlier. That's okay. That's okay. We're going to take out more different cards, okay? Let's see. Anything else for... What is this, Gemini? Gemini. Okay. Yeah. I feel like for whatever reason, I think it was easier to be distracted. I feel like you were getting distracted. The mind was distracting you, or your mind needed to distract you from certain truths or realizations about how powerful you really are, or maybe your gifts are, your family's gifts are. So let's say, for example, if you're really gifted, maybe you're clairvoyant, you see visions of the future, or you're somebody that helps people pass on to the next realms, right? People who are passing away, anything like that. It almost seems like it's not just you. You're going to realize your family has these gifts. And I don't know. There's something here about maybe your power was too much for you to realize. Even now. I think somebody's uncomfortable with the type of power that they have. Maybe somebody here is more rational. Because remember, this is Gemini. They're on the realm of the mind. Someone here is more rational than they are maybe mystic, or maybe you were born to believe that, and then so anything that has to do with your spiritual gifts can scare you. Okay? Or maybe at one point you were doing really well with your spiritual gifts, and then like you got scared, or it was too much, and then now it's like you're ready for the next stage of your gifts, right? The next stage, you're ready for it. Okay? This seems like distractions again. So whatever's in the mind, you needed to do that to protect yourself from your gifts, your own potential. All right, anything else? Wands. What's up with this Wands? And the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you're ready. I feel like whoever you are, you're the type of person. I feel like somebody gets triggered from the memories, childhood memories. Someone really is trying. I think somebody gave up their gifts, like their psychic gifts, because every time they meditated, they remembered things they didn't want to remember. And now it's like you don't care. I feel like somebody wants to go delve deeper into their spiritual gifts through even deeper states of meditation. Maybe when you meditate, you contact like other beings, and that shit scares you. And so I feel like, but you want to do it again, or like you're ready for that again, that type of commitment. Oh, Jesus. I love this. I love this. You're ready. This is a passionate person for their crafts, their skills, their abilities, what they were brought on earth to do. This is who you are. So it almost seems like by you trying not to remember certain parts of your childhood, you gave up a version of yourself that you're meant to be, right? Because spiritual people, they get bored easily too, right? It's like any place. If you do something long enough, you get bored, you're ready for the next stage. It almost seems like you're ready for the next stage of meditation, the next stage of your spiritual gifts to like, because it's time to nurture them. These spiritual gifts need to be nurtured, and I feel like you're ready. You don't care if you do run into like painful stuff, or things that you don't want to remember. It's okay. Because you're bored, and you need to. It's like you want a higher level of spiritual education, right? Training your esoteric gifts and abilities is fun. It's fun. Or maybe you never thought that until now. I'm telling you. Somebody used to be really good at this, okay? They were really, really, really all about studying and nurturing their gifts, and then it's like something happens. You weren't ready for the next level, and now you are, okay? You have the Three of Swords here. What's up with this? Let me clarify this card. I feel like somebody's a little reluctant, though. They're just scared. Somebody's scared. That's all it is. Nothing more than a little bit of fear. Emma Watson is white, bro. I'm Mexican. And she's skinny as hell. I'm not skinny. But thanks, we can try to figure out what celebrity I look like tomorrow. Alright. King of Swords. It's a heavy price. Somebody's paying a heavy price. It hurts. Alright. Yeah, it's a toss-up. You never know. When you meditate, you never know if you're going to deal with pain, triggers, trauma, or if you're going to deal with like feeling perfectly present in the moment and feeling abundant. We don't know. Dang, I used the Lu and the L. Now I'm getting two different cards. What's this King of Swords? With the Four of Pentacles, this is my witchcraft cards. I don't like this. Let's see, maybe it's something else. Let me clarify. I'm getting somebody lost faith in the esoteric lifestyle. And they're trying to get it back. Well, what is it that you lost faith in? Because I feel like your gifts and abilities, they didn't ever go away. You just chose not to acknowledge a lot of it because of remembering certain things. But what are you most afraid of? I want to know. What are you afraid of? This is King of Swords. Ah. This could also talk about, remember, when you think of the King of Swords, he's very rational. Energy, right? The energy is very rational. It's very logical. But I feel like by you being too rational or too logical, it's what's causing you to be very bored. Okay? Being rational and logical is great and all, but it almost seems like this can become jaded. This can become jadedness very easily. You're not that person. You could be, but it's like it's stopping you and your inner child from going deeper. And I think that's what's scaring you. It's easier to be jaded than it is to tap into your gifts. Because, yeah, it's a protective state. Are you willing to let go of this protective state of being or mind in order for you to ascend to the 60, 70, 8D? Because that's who you're meant to be. You're meant to be one of the greats. But I feel like you can't tap into certain energies because you won't allow yourself to go into deeper states of meditation, or you won't allow yourself to go into whatever it is that helps you enhance or nourish your talents and abilities. Maybe it's for some people, it might be like whatever distractions you keep involving yourself with, maybe regular work on a day-to-day basis, right? Maybe moving too fast, things like that are the things that are impeding you from growing in the spiritual realm. Anything else? Oh, Knight of Wands. The Knight of Cups wanted to come out. It's the Knight of Wands. Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, you want to have some fun. You ready? You better be ready. Yep, the next stage is here. And also, this is your birthright. This is your birthright. Don't deny your birthright. Knowing about your past, your family lineage, history, knowing about certain things, remembering certain things, that's your birthright. It's part of who you are. It's what makes you you, right? So I know it's scary, but don't be afraid. You're strong enough. You can endure anything that comes your way. Because you can endure certain things, remember, after getting your heart broken time and time again, through reaching the Akashic records in this lifetime or maybe lifetimes past, you became stronger. You still went back. You still came back to the Queen of Cups energy, okay? This is still a loving person. And I feel like now that you're stronger, you can go and delve even deeper into the Akashic records if you so choose to, okay? Because this regular earthly realm is great and all, but I really truly feel like you would have more fun nourishing your psychic abilities. Nurturing, sorry. It would be refreshing, to say the least, okay? All right, that was for my Geminis. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The next reading is going to be for my Librans. Librans. All right. Nice, 25 minutes. So 23 minutes. All right, for my Librans, ooh, I am going to use the Luna L Tarot deck. And I'm going to mix this with, we'll see, maybe the Anime Tarot so that it's not so, you know, dark and gloomy. Dark. All right, so for you guys, let's mix this up. I'm actually going to use the Black Moon Astrology cards because that's what I want to use, okay? Yes. All right. Does anyone have any questions? Drop them in the chat regarding the reading. Okay. Damn. Okay, let me timestamp. I have 4 cards in the deck. That's too much already. I love how, like, when I first started tarot, I would go through all these cards to see, because I never thought my gifts were strong enough for me to get so much information out of these cards, and now it's like I only need 1 or 2 cards and it tells a whole story, or 4 cards, whatever. Okay, Libras, 26, 27, let's do 27. 27, okay. All right, so 5 of Swords with Devil energy, okay? And so what I'm getting here is I'm getting like a hard with the 5 of Swords talks about like conflict and all that, but it almost seems like if you feel like an ominous presence for you guys this week, there's like this feeling of like pressure, or somebody like putting too much of their energy, forceful energy towards you. I feel like you're going to feel this energy, okay? This type of energy is going to come towards you, and it's going to make you feel like you know, this is like my throat chakra card, like you won't be able to speak up, or you're going to want to resist. Like this is I feel like this type of energy is not the type of energy you like to deal with. This is a very heavy energy. So I feel like when that happens, you're going to want to go within and like hide out, like shut down from whatever this energy is, because I feel like so this energy could be like a forceful tempting energy. And it almost seems like this energy is going to come out, and it's going to make you want to go within, or, you know, hide out so that this energy doesn't find you. It seems like this energy is trying to find you, or it's like every time you're in this energy, you become a version of yourself that you don't want to see. So that's why it almost gives me like temptation, or like every time you get a confrontational in a confrontational environment or person or energy, it's like you don't like being that person. Okay, Libra, because remember, Libra is all about balance, harmony, peace, and I feel like when Librans get into confrontation, they would rather not. They would rather keep the peace above anything else, and which is why I'm getting like, if you feel like there's an energy that's just causing problems, or is tempting, to say the least, you're trying to hide out to stay safe. I'm getting you're needing safety above everything else, okay? And I think this has to do with your inner child in a way, or this could be, what is this energy? Let me see. Almost, because this gives me like a parental figure with a child. So it almost seems like this has to do with safety. You don't feel safe bringing your inner child around this energy. So it's like this version of you has to come out. This like angry, it's a triggered version of you that needs to come out to protect you because you don't feel safe in this environment or whatever this is, okay? The funny thing about this is this gives me Libran energy as well, because it's black and white and it's a whole. I feel like somebody's having a hard time. So if you haven't felt triggered like this in a while, I'm getting that wherever the trigger is coming from, it's causing you to have to really go within and have faith, because remember, when you have that type of faith, to not react out of a trigger, that means that you have enough faith in the divine that you're going to be safe and protected. So therefore, you don't need to react, you don't need to run, you don't need to do anything. Reaction doesn't always have to be confrontation, but it could be reacting as if like running, right? What is that? The stop, freeze, and what is it? Stop, fight, flight, or freeze? Yeah, it's that type of energy. I said stop, drop, and roll. Oh my God, I wanted to say that. So, okay. So as I was saying, it's like, yeah, it almost seems like you're asking the divine or universe to bring in faith for you, because whatever this trigger or temptation is, it's big. It's a big one. It's this is a deep trigger. So I feel like you're doing the best that you can. But it almost seems like when you get triggered like that, maybe you haven't been triggered like that in a while, so you forgot, or maybe it was, you could have forgotten like how easy, how difficult it is to get out of a trigger, to not react to a trigger, okay? Because sometimes we like to believe that we're light beings and we're doing great and we resist temptation, or that we're really good at, not reacting or responding. But sometimes things that are really deep within us that we haven't 100% dealt with, those things come up. Those things need to come up. So that's why sometimes we encounter certain triggers, right? So that these things could be addressed, and then we can heal from them and then move on, okay? All right, there you go. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to say that. All right, anything else before we move on to the next reading, because there's so much here. Yeah, it almost seems like somebody's upset, or like, well, that's the whole point. I'm getting the reason you're getting triggered is so you can confront this, because otherwise, how else would you have confronted this trigger if you didn't even know about it or didn't want to look into it? So sometimes people won't confront triggers. You can't confront something you haven't unhealed. That sometimes you don't know what the trigger is. Sometimes you don't know you're still triggered by something. Sometimes you don't know that you have to heal from something. Sometimes you don't think that this what's in the subconscious is that, what is that saying? I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Sometimes we aren't aware of how much healing we need in a certain area. We're not as aware of it, right? Until the trigger happens. And then you're like, whoa, right? You think you've done all this progress, and then you realize there's so much more to do, right? So, okay, you got Grand Cross Provoker. Yeah, that's the one that wanted to come out. I feel like that's what it is. This is causing like anger within. This is causing resentment. This is causing nightmares, sleepless nights, you not able to breathe or feel safe in an environment, because that's what it is. There's lack of faith that you will be protected. So this is something that needs to be confronted, so that you're at one with the universe here. Remember, it's the saying, like, you are safe. You are safe. I feel like somebody has to tell themselves this. You are safe, and you got to pray when you start getting triggered. You have to pray, maybe step out for a second, breathe, and face this demon, or face this whatever this trigger is. You can face it head on and know that you will survive. You will make it out of this, okay? You don't need to react to this, okay? But you're going to keep reacting until you've healed from it. So, and I think that's the next step. That's what you've needed to heal. It's unconscious programming. That is, the divine said, it's time for you to face now. Okay? All right. Anything else? Anything else before we move on? Okay, anything else before we move on? Okay, so we have, the Five of Cups in reverse. I feel like somebody, man, when you get triggered like this, it's hard to have faith. I'm getting you're needing to pray more, or you're wanting to pray more. You feel so powerless in this energy, Whenever this trigger comes in, you feel so powerless because you can't control it. Or it's discouraging to know that you have little faith in a certain area. But remember, it's like we're not all perfect. You have to look at the other areas you used to struggle in and realize how far you've come now. So there could be areas that you used to struggle in and now you don't. So this is just another thing here. I just think that this trigger makes you really sad. Every time you tap into it, it makes you faithless, hopeless, feeling like you're in separation, and this feeling of separation hurts. It really does. When you feel separation, it hurts because you don't feel aligned. You feel exhausted, in fear state. It's not a good feeling, and I feel like that you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to feel that. You don't want to know that. But you, with the King of Wands energy, let's see what else. King of Wands with Sagittarius, this is fire energy. That's what it is. I feel like this is your natural state, right? And then so for you to go from something like this in a very abundant, loving, faithful state to this, getting triggered, wanting to fight, like this scares you. This scares you. Because look at the difference between these cards. Like this is very energy, high vibe to this. It's like this is facing demons from your past. This is facing injustices from your past. That maybe there was never justice in certain areas in your life. So for you to be triggered like this, it reminds you of the injustices, which is why it's such a big trigger, right? So I feel like that's the thing that makes you upset. That's the thing that scares you. Okay, let's see what else. Anything else before we move on to the last reading? Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's the truth. I feel like you're tired. I don't know why I want to say that. I feel like you're tired. Can I be honest with you? I feel like that's what it is. You're exhausted. Maybe you used to have certain tactics. This is a state of mind, right? But I feel like you used to have certain tactics to help you cope with the fear of things, and I feel like these tactics are actually making you more tired. You don't have the energy to use these same tactics. If this is fear, if your thing is to run, you're too tired. You can't do that. If your thing is to, avoid, you can't do that. If your thing is to lash out, you can't do that. You're too tired. Do you see what I'm saying? So the state of mind is it's harming you, and you see that, and so you're, instead of you being in a state of fear or thinking you can control this, you're asking the divine to come and help you in this area because you need help. It's outside of your understanding. It's outside of what you can offer to yourself. You can't offer yourself this type of protection. It's funny I say that because this is a sword. You can't offer yourself this type of protection against whatever this trigger is or this injustice is. You can't. So that's why you need to go to the big guys. Your guides will help you through this. They want to help you through this, okay? Because they see you struggling, and it hurts them just as much as it hurts you. Okay? 8 of Wands with the Hangman. Oh, man. This is scary. This is re-triggering things from your past. You don't like this. This is fast-moving energy. I think you're afraid to get hurt again. You're afraid to get hurt, and you won't. You won't. This is a fear from your past. You won't get hurt again anymore. No. But this is, yeah, it's a limiting belief system. This is your baser instincts trying to protect you. Maybe you didn't like, maybe you needed to do that when you were younger, or whenever these injustices were occurring. You needed to protect yourself by being, in a certain way, certain state. But this is a state of mind. It's not true. It's not true. Okay? It's not true. You are safe. You are safe. Oh, this is my strength card. When you get a Leo card like this, Libra, this talks about strength and vulnerability. Your thing here, if you're trying to protect yourself, the key to protect yourself would actually be vulnerability, okay? Being vulnerable is what's going to get you through this trigger. Because once you're in a vulnerable state, that's you, again, having faith that you're going to be safe and protected. And that's when you'll see, that's when you'll realize there's nothing to be afraid of. There is no, it's the boogeyman's not real. Okay? It's not, it's an illusion. It's not real. It's not real. You won't be harmed again, or this injustice won't occur again. Okay? But I know it's easier said than done, but this, I'm telling you this so that you can kind of be aware of it's just a trigger. It's just a trigger. You can overcome this. You can overcome this, okay? All right. Anything else before we move on to the next reading? Yeah, Two of Cups. Yeah. There you go. It's just a trigger. It's an illusion. Walk in faith, trust. Number 2 talks about trust. This is how you're going to feel more harmonious inside, and you'll feel more abundant through, you'll feel alignment. This is a deeper sense of a commitment or partnership to your faith, because your faith is what's going to keep you alive here. It's what's going to help you move on through the pain, through the fear of being hurt or this injustice or something bad happening again, okay? All right, so that was for my Librans. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The next reading is the last reading. It's going to go for my Aquas. I don't want to use this deck. For whatever reason, this is giving me, this last 2 weeks, this deck is giving me very scary vibes. Like, I used to love this deck. I'm not really fond of it right now, okay? So I'm going to use the Delusion Tarot, and I'm going to mix it with the, we'll see, maybe the Anime Tarot, okay? All right. If you guys have any questions about the reading, you can drop them down in the chat. Or if you guys want to donate, you can. Cash App, PayPal in the description box below. You just have to click on more, okay? All right, anything else before we transition to the next reading? Okay. Okay. All right. Oh man, it's the same cards but in a different deck. Oh Jesus. Okay, there's something I don't know if this is for my Aqua reading. Yeah, this is for my Aquas. Okay. It's the same cards, but it's just five instead of 5 of Swords, it's the 5 of Cups. Okay. This is good though. I like this energy for my Aquas, okay? We're going to timestamp here for 42:45, 42:45, 42:45, 42:45. Okay. So, for you guys, I'm getting this is a healing, a very beautiful energy. This is a calm, you're in a state of being that, although this looks kind of like a little bit 5 of Cups, like alone, it almost seems like that by you being alone, it's actually good for you because there's some healing taking place. Not just that, you're open to certain energies, or you're more perceptive than you've ever been. It's like you're also cleared up a whole bunch of energy by you sitting still in your own presence. It's like you can sit comfortably in your energy now. If you were struggling with this for a very long time, you have come far. You have come a long way, Aquas. You can sit still in this energy. You can sit still alone in your thoughts in the darkness of darkness with no TV, no technology, no electronics. Like, you can literally sit still, and there you're okay. You're in communion with you staying still on your own. 5 of Cups can talk about sadness or feeling like alone and abandoned, but that's not what I'm getting here. I'm getting maybe at first it felt like loneliness and abandonment, but remember, it could have felt like depression, right? Because depression is a lack of expression in a way, right? But now after after sitting still in your own, in the darkness, in not just the darkness, but alone in your own energy, once you really, let the feelings of loneliness and isolation subside, you're receiving different communication, or you're connecting to other parts of self, and but it's in the cup, and it's just starting to come out. So that's why the divine needs you to sit in this energy a little bit longer, because there's something here that you're going to discover. It's a new energy because you've never tapped into it. Oh, thank you. It's a new energy. You've never tapped into it, but you're about to discover something beautiful, something absolutely amazing in this energy. But the only way you could have, you could do that is if you sit still in the loneliness or in the feelings of abandonment or rejection for a while. Okay? Because once you're done with the crying, it's like there's other things that want to be expressed to you. It's not just sadness and loneliness and feeling rejected or feeling alone. It's not just that. There's something beautiful coming up, right? And it's starting to show. It's starting to show. And I feel like this is giving you like courage. There's something here about courage. It takes a certain individual to be able to sit still in their own thoughts, in the darkest of darkest, in the pit of isolation with no one around. Okay, this is you facing that depression. Okay, it takes courage to do that. And I feel like that's the reason why you were struggling, right, to sit still. Because if you try to sit still with this in one sitting, you can't. This is why it takes months to go through a healing stage like this. It could take years, because it's tapping into the energy, and then once you get too scared, you run back to the old paradigms, right, to the old dimensions. And then when you're ready, you go sit still in this energy, heal and cry, and then feel good and abundance, and then run back. Okay? And I feel like what you're running back to would be this energy. That's what it is. I feel like somebody was running to people or energies to help you avoid being on your own and feeling this energy. I don't think anyone's, when maybe you grew up alone or abandoned or whatever, and every time you sat still with this energy, it brings back memories of the abandonment, right? But so in order for you not to feel this energy, you run back to this, to people or codependent attachment, stuff like that, right? Only because you were afraid to sit still in this. But the thing about it is, it's not always sadness, okay? Once the sadness subsides, there's something great here. There's something beautiful emerging within you, and it's time for you to face whatever that is. This is something big. I don't think you've ever gave it the chance. Maybe you could have tried, but it was too hard. But I'm telling you, stick it out. You're almost done. You're almost through with this, okay? This is the next stage, the next level to greatness, to discover the greatness within you. This is courage, though. I'm getting courage for Aquarius. The Hangman. Oh, yeah. I feel like that's your biggest fear, Aqua. It's crazy because Aquariuses they're known for being like the house of friendships. When you think of Aqua, you think of the house of friendships, right? Somebody's biggest fear is being alone. You're afraid to be alone. This is the Hangman. But remember, being alone isn't the worst thing. This might actually be very good for you, because if you're leaving certain energies or codependent attachments behind, once you leave these things behind, you're making room for yourself, discovering versions of self. And once that happens, you're gonna discover other beings or people that are closer to a version of you that's gonna emerge. So you're going to attract people that are more in tune with this version of you, right? The version of you that's courageous, comfortable, fearless, right? And I feel like the face your fear. What's on the other side of being alone? Somebody's terrified of being alone. What's on the other side, though? Face this fear. Do you know what you're going to find on the other side? It's fucking big. Let's tap into this for a little bit, okay? I do apologize for the noise. That's why I kind of started earlier, because I didn't want the fucking noise in the background. So, and I do apologize, but yeah. Okay. People are just so loud and they're not aware of how loud they are. Okay. So, 7 of Cups. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. It's like a communion, or there's something here about facing this fear. It's partnerships, communion. I think that's what it is. What's up with the 7 of Cups? It almost seems like you forfeited your peace of mind, or you sacrificed your peace of mind for people that were not of your type of people. It's like that saying, you would rather be in bad company than by yourself. Like, you would rather be by yourself than in bad company, but no, it's the opposite. You would rather be in bad company than by yourself, because you don't want to tap into whatever this is. It almost seems like if you tap into abandonment or loneliness, there's something here about a truth. I feel like that maybe you feel like you are alone, or you've always been abandoned. So if you end up alone, or if you separate yourself from certain distractions, you're gonna feel like this is true, that you were always meant to be alone, or you're always meant to be on your own, or abandoned, or rejected. But that's not true. That is only temporary. It's a temporary state of being. There's something underneath that, beneath that. But I feel like you need to muster up the courage to do it, to pull through, and I think you have been. Okay, so you're almost through with it. Keep going. Okay, keep going. You're about to have a breakthrough here. There's something wonderful that you're going to discover about yourself once you pull through. Okay, you need to be aligned with people who are of your caliber, or they're just like you, and in order to do that, you have to spend time alone. Okay, with the Nine of Pentacles here, yeah, self-made abundance. This is good. This is a beautiful feeling, but I feel like that's what you're going to discover. Oh, okay. You think that by spending time alone and letting these attachments go, the truth would be that you were always meant to be alone, but that's not it. I feel like you're going to discover that you can do it on your own. I feel like somebody doesn't think they can do it on their own. You can. This is Nine of Pentacles. Even though it's a beautiful oasis, it's a beautiful lifestyle, it's a beautiful card, right, of energy. This is my Virgo card. This is a card that talks about self. You did this all on your own. You get to enjoy the fruits of your labor and the lifestyle that you built, but it's all yours. It's all yours. So maybe somebody doesn't think that they can do it on their own. Oh, there you go. Somebody doesn't think they can do it on their own. You can. You can. Somebody maybe doesn't, or if it's not that, somebody doesn't feel they're worthy of better friends or better family. And you are now. Because dropping these codependent attachments is a different lifestyle. It's like if you were always attaching to people who didn't treat you right, then that's a reflection of this lack of love that you had, right? But if you drop these people, now you're showing yourself and the divine that you want better, that you are better, you deserve better, right? So that's you're forming a habit there. You're telling the universe you are better, you deserve better, therefore you automatically, the universe has to respond and give you people who will treat you better, be good to you. But again, you have to also show yourself that you can do this on your own. You don't need people who are not good for you, just so that you don't have to be alone like that. No, you deserve better. Okay, you're the King of Swords, making a bold statement. Yeah, you're gonna break through. This is Justice card. This is justice. You're gonna break through. This is a big issue. So whoever this is, I'm getting you were taught this. It's better to be in company or in attachments than it is to be alone. And I think you're breaking out of that. And look at the bold statement you make by making that choice, by making that conscious decision. You're breaking limiting self-belief systems and creating new ones. New systems, new belief systems that are abundant and joyous, and are of justice. And it's also red, a reflection of assertiveness and masculine energy. It's also an energy of you deserve better and command respect. I love it. Four Wands, there you go. Look, what did I tell you were going to find? What did I tell you were going to find once you allow this sadness and the pain of it, you allow this to come up, and you sit still in the quiet for a long time? What do you think comes out? Bam! Creativity. This is you loving your life. This is you wondrous, a childlike spirit. This is you happy. This is celebrations. This is friendships. This is a good celebration of who you are. This is you showing the universe that you love and respect yourself that much, and you're happy and abundant in your own life as you are. Therefore, the universe has to respond and give you people who are just as happy about their life as you are about your own. You want people like that around you, not people who are going to hold on to you and attach to you and, play mind games or, be jealous or try to hold claim or use you or abuse you. You don't want those people. Like-minded belief people, hang around with those people, okay? I'm not saying that they're bad people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you're ready for an upgrade. You're ready for better. So when you finally sit still with you, what happens? Boom. Boom. Celebration. Realization of how powerful you actually are. You actually could do it on your own. You didn't need these people hanging on to you, attaching to you. You didn't need them. You only attach to them because it's either out of habit, because these people look alike. They're out of habit or because you were afraid. They hold on to each other because they're afraid. You're not afraid any longer. You're not afraid any longer. Congratulations, Aquarius. I know Aquariuses take pride in their friendships, but make sure they're the right type of friendships. Partners, soul family, right? Family, the right family members, okay? This is what I'm saying. Also with the Five of Wands, it's the root chakra, right? We think of confidence, pride, stability, assertiveness, masculine energy, right? Adventure. This also gives me sacral energy because it's turning into orange. There's something here about pleasure in your own company. Something here about taming something here. I don't know. I feel like you're also discovering like another version of yourself that wouldn't have been able to a more confident version of you. The people you could have been attached to didn't want to see that version of you. They maybe weren't comfortable with seeing a confident version of you because maybe you weren't. Maybe you didn't know you were that confident, only to realize that you're becoming more confident by the minute by being on your own. That's what happens. What else am I getting? There's something else I'm missing here. I just don't know what it is. What is it with this Five of Wands energy? Tell me what the Magician. Oh, this is the Master Manifester. Okay, this is why Mars. I think it was Mercury. Sorry, Mercury. Is it Mercury? It's an influence to the Magician in a way. Why? Because it's not just the color of it. It's like you have every tool within you to create whatever the lifestyle you want, be whoever you want to be, and I feel like even become more abundant. I feel like this is a matter of the mind, right? This is the construct of the mind. I feel like you're leveling up, right, to something bigger, something better. You've always known you could reach this potential, but maybe you've just been too afraid to go to the next level, okay? Because manifestation takes it's not just of the heart, right? Because I always say this, it starts with the heart, but there's something about the belief system too. You have to believe to a certain extent that this is something you really want. Sometimes we have to act as if, right, until we truly believe it. And I feel like that's what you're trying to do. Believe that you can do better, you can get better, you can become better. And I feel like that's what you're ready for, okay, Aquas? Let this fire energy, let Aries season, because we're entering Aries season, right? I'll show you what the right amount of wand energy, which is fire, Mars energy, let Mars energy, it's not always confrontational, right? But let it show you the version of you that, like, speaks up for themselves, knows what they want, is a more assertive energy. Let that energy come in and show you what you can do with it. I don't think you've tapped into that energy too much, but you're tapping into it now. Not also that, but I'm getting to with the Mars energy, the wand energy is that, like, spending time figuring out what you want. What do you want? Who are you? What makes you feel open and abundant and passionate? What are you passionate about? If you're trying to figure out what that is, this is a season to do it. I feel like Aries is going to open you up, and this masculine energy is going to come in and show you what you want, who you are, what you believe in, who you can become, what you want to attract. It's going to show you that. Let it do its job this season and you'll be surprised. But in order for you to do that, you have to sit still and finish through. Finish through, okay? You're almost done. You're almost done. Literally, you know it too. You're almost done, okay? Congratulations. Aquas. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Okay, thanks. Thanks for telling us that. Hope you feel better saying that. All right. Anything else? I think that's it. I think I'm ready to call it. Thank you guys. Is there anything else? I'm trying to see for Aquas. For Aries season, Queen of Swords. Oh, yeah. Finish out strong and alone. Somebody, if you're feeling like you're afraid to be this version of you, more assertive, because the Queen of Swords will tell you how she feels. She don't give no fucks, okay? And I say that in a good way. She don't give a fuck. Sometimes it's okay to be this Queen of Swords. Be you. Ruffle some feathers. Say what you want to say. Don't give a fuck. You care too much. You care too much what people know. Fuck them. What do you want? And if you know what you want, you better start speaking up and telling people this is what you want. This is who you are. Or if you care too much, you need to stop. Sometimes it's okay to be considerate and kind and caring. But Aquas, bro, it's getting to the point where, like, you're Aquarius, bro. You should just not give a fuck in general. Sometimes Aquariuses, we can come off as not giving a fuck, right? Sometimes we need to be that with codependent attachments or just anyone that, you know, just whoever you feel like being that with. If you want to be that way just in general, then be that way. This is the season to do it, okay? Explore that a little bit more, carelessness, and it will get you a long way. It really would. I'm talking to somebody that's always giving and somebody who just doesn't know how to be careless or how to choose themselves first. This is for you, okay? This is the advice for you. Look how confident and sexy this person looks. Yes, they're a little bit on the assertive side, but that's okay. That's attractive, okay? There's somebody that's going to love this version of you. This attractive, this more assertive, confident version of you. This person is actually likable. You just have to believe that. Do you like yourself enough to be this version of you? Because this is who you really are. This is who you're meant to be. Okay? All right. That was for my Aquas. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the chat regarding the reading. If you guys want to donate, you can Cash App, PayPal in the description box below, or you can YouTube. You can donate on YouTube, okay? I think that's it, y'all. I think that's it. We are done. 62:36. Right. If no one has any questions, we are going to end the reading here. Let me know. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. I love you guys. Yeah. Take good care of yourselves. All right, take care. Bye.